the rivers in our ward, they come to governor direct with 1 or 2 issues. So, Chair, also we should give a room, because we have the audit committee, we give a room for those funds from the HQ. If at all there will be, we give that the governor that period to do that work. So we cannot control also every fund, because also I think we are all leaders. The governor is elected, we are elected. So I think the MP has got his own kit. Nowadays I've heard even the senator, they're almost getting the same. The woman is getting the same. So, Chair, now we cannot control everything. Even Governor Mashinani, they are there. So sometimes let us give a room also. Thank you, Chair.
So let me give it to Mover.
Mr. Speaker, I do not see any need for us to be jittery of the governor's small kitty to sponsor children. Actually, we would want to have as many people sponsoring needy children as possible. We have banks sponsoring people. We have big companies sponsoring people. A case in point, Family Bank this year has sponsored close to 20 needy students from across the county. So there's no harm if we set, because already we have some money set aside, like 30 million for the governor. That is why we want to anchor it in law, so that we know the composition and how that money will be utilized. So I do not see any problem with that. Let us retain it as it is.
So there is no amendment to Article 21?
We will do some amendments as indicated on the paper, on the scholarship, the wordings.
Okay, I now want to propose that Article 21, the clause 21, be amended as proposed. I now want to put it to question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. As many of the similar opinions say aye, as many of the contrary opinions say nay. So we don't have any, we have no stand for that. As many of the similar opinions say aye, as many of the contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
Honorable members, I propose that clause 22 be part of the bill. Mover.
Speaker, should I
read? Just
amend it first?
Yes, amend.
All right.
Then.
I propose that we amend clause 22 as indicated on the order paper. I am going to request Mheshimiwa Ruth from Joro to second.
I'm Ruth Ndutaka Mau from Jolo Ward. I propose. I second.
Okay, I want now, for the interest of members, to read now clause 22 as it is and the amendment that has been proposed. Clause 22 reads, the functions of the Governor's Bursary Committee, which is said the Governor's Scholarship Committee. The functions of the committee shall 2A, vet and determine applications under the program. B, maintain records of application and beneficiaries. C, determine awards to eligible applicants. D, monitor academic progress of beneficiaries. E, prepare and submit annual reports to the county assembly. So the proposal was to delete part D, which reads, now the functions, to delete these functions, that they should not monitor academic progress of beneficiaries. So,
Chair, there were two amendments, critical amendments, so that we cure some of the questions that were raised by members who said, well, with this all needed students be coming from the same ward. We raised and we said, let the ward committees be receiving requests for scholarship. They also have the capacity to understand this student has this burden in education or academic burden. He needs to be assisted in this and this manner. And that's why we said, for us also to indulge into this and to distribute this student across, the ward committee must give proposals, and therefore that's why we are amending clause 22 part A by saying receive, not vet, receive. They are supposed now to receive and determine the applications for the beneficiaries from the ward level. Therefore, Chair, we said and we gave more further functions to the ward committee by telling them also to receive. They are the ones who receives, and they now relate them to the scholarship committee. Otherwise, Chair, if we do not amend that clause A, because Chair, you were saying about D, you forgot about A, and which is very critical, that is giving these members and the residents of their wards the lifeline, where they can be able to breathe, I believe actually we'll be losing the mark. Therefore, Chair, lead both the amendments here, move them both the amendments, so that actually we can be able now to be in tandem with what we discussed during the public participation.
Thank you so much, Honorable Njuguna. Alex? Honorable Alex?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, many might see this as just a debate, but we are debating something that will be used in 2078. Mr. Chair, one day we might have a governor who is not as good as our governor today, Mr. Chair. And hence, we must set it straight that how will the beneficiaries of the governor's scholarship be obtained. And Mr. Chair, the proposal that we've been given by Honorable Njuguna is very valid. Why do I say that, Mr. Chair? If I read today's work, this scholarship comes up when governor goes to mashinani, and more so when we are giving out bursaries. What of wards, like in Maera, when was the last time she was there to award bursaries? When was she last in Rwanda to give up bursaries? So those people will not be having a chance to meet the governor and express themselves. So to be fair, let the bursary committees at the ward levels propose the people who would benefit for this scholarship, Mr. Chair. Because even if Her Excellency or His Excellency in future goes to maybe your ward, and a student rises that this student is needy, the student will be referred to your office will refer you to the committee will give out the details, the nitty-gritty that we require to the other big committee. So I would really request that that one be taken very seriously. Today it is happening well because Her Excellency goes to mashinani. What about the manager who will come and never ever goes to mashinani? What will happen at that juncture, Mr. Chair?
Honorable Kajong.
Chair, as much as I agree with my colleagues on their contribution into how we source for the beneficiaries, we are in the same page. But I want to restrict myself to the amendment that you brought up, that you want it to be amended that the committee will not be tasked with the responsibility of monitoring and evaluating the progress of the beneficiary of these scholarships. Mr. Speaker, or Chair, you see, these are serious audit queries when they are looked at after execution. Just the other time, we were seeing Governor for Wajir saying that he brought seedlings, they were planted somewhere, but they can never be seen. You see? The other time, there was this governor that bought fingerlings and threw into the lake. And so when the auditors came and said, where are the fish? Well, the fish probably has gone with the currents. So, Mr. Speaker, if you take somebody as a sponsor and you give him scholarship to go and study a certain discipline, then the sponsor has the responsibility to evaluate so that we know, was there value for money? Or we did just throw our money? Because somebody could get this scholarship or even the bursary and then drop out of school. So, and you mentioned that this report need to be brought to the assembly. What report are we going to get as an assembly to verify whether there was value for money. So with this, when I chair, I want to oppose that amendment. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Njuguna.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when we were at the public participation, that was a discourse that arose, and I know that the mover, who is also an academician, because by virtue of his profession is a teacher, Chair, it was alleged that some of the members that you see holding those positions, they have been to school, yes, but some of them, they did theology. And telling them now to assess the academic progress of a student, it will not be easy. Number two, Chair, remember that even now, currently, the grading is no longer there. Chair, therefore they said, because this committee might not be having individuals who come from the education background, we said there was no need. But however, I've seen the angle that the member is coming from, and I would say sometimes the academic progress does not mean having an A or progressing in that trajectory. It means also, Chair, to know whether this person has been in the school throughout and how he's behaving and how he's even progressing. It means if he was in grade 1, or rather, let me use that, if he was in grade 1, he have progressed in the third year to be in the grade 3. That's also good, Chair. And therefore, I would also say that we retained it as it was in the older, as published, rather than actually doing away with it, so that at least they can be able to be getting reports from even the schools. They will be having now even the business. We are going to give them the leeway to get even the report of this student from the school. But if we amend that clause D, it means they will not have business even following up about the status of those students at those schools. Therefore, I agree with Honorable Kajwang that we retain it as the way it is, so that at least even the student, even the schools might be knowing that even this committee is going through and are working around to get the status and to follow up about the status of their student. Chair, that one will be taking us in another route whereby we are avoiding funding students who are not in school. If today they decide that that will not be there, and they don't know whether those students that they are funding exist, it means that actually we are going to lose the money, and you're not going to have the value for the money. Therefore, I would also wish to move the House to consider retaining that clause the way it is, though it's the theologian who might be also in this committee.
Members, you know...
Allow me, Chair, please.
Okay, I have not, you have not catching the eye of the speaker.
Yeah, you're not looking this
Okay, Madam Jane, Honorable
Let me
Jane.
just be brief. I know we don't have time, but we also agree with me members that this is a very, very crucial bill. Also remember that we don't have now the yellow copies. I hope next time you consider giving us the yellow copies so that you can be in tandem with what you are talking about. But as I had raised earlier, my concern, but I just want to say that amend, there's a sentence you jumped, Chair, and this is what we were looking for, on vet and determine. So when we follow on that, I think we'll be okay. And I think that is what members are discussing. That instead of now the committee of the scholarship vetting and determining, they receive the proposals from the ward. And that one will be answered when one member said that we cannot have all the 55 of us in that scholarship committee. So you look at where you are reading, you'll find that it is written, section 22, functions of the governor's bursary committee, which we are now turning into a scholarship. They say amend by deleting the words vet and determine. I think that was our bone of contention, and we agree that it will work for us.
Thank you so much.
Although still you are saying you are deleting section 22D in its entirety. Did you read it for us so that we can know?
Yes,
you are
that's what I
deleting?
had proposed, and that is the proposal that is coming from Honorable Njuguna to retain as it is.
Yeah.
Honorable Kajwang.
Chair, you know, some of us are interacting with this bill very late. For the benefit of so many members, would the committee chair or any member from the committee give us a distinction of definition between bursary and scholarship?
Mover, do you have something to say concerning that?
Mr. Speaker, I think we have two county-level committees. The first one is the CBC, County Bursary Committee. And this one, its job is to just receive forms from the ward bursary committees across the county. And their job is only to verify and also double check and fish out the double application, just that. When it comes to the Governor's Scholarship Committee, that one is tasked on identifying the very needy cases that needs now to be sponsored through the Governor's Kitty, the 30 million Governor's Kitty. So I think that is basically the difference, that one is tasked on dealing with forms from across the county, and their job is to only verify and also check double allocations. And then the other one is purely dealing with scholarship cases only. So that's the distinction.
The bone of contention here, Mover, is the application aspect, in that the proposed amendment is that they are proposing the committee, the ward level committee, will be receiving and relaying to the governors committee. Do you propose that we retain or we... No, you talk through the chair. I was just explaining to the mover. So please, Honorable Kajwang, I'll give you a chance, but please speak through the chair.
The question is, Honorable PM, that there must be a distinction between scholarship and bursary, not in the manner of execution, but even in the manner of allocation. If I say that you are sponsored by the county government, that means I've taken your responsibility up to that time that you are through with that course. If I take my students for technical courses in one of the technical colleges, I sponsor them awesomely until they get their certificates. But if it is just bursary, then I just top up on what they have. So that is the kind of distinction that I wanted it to come clearer, so that we understand where does this one start and where does this other one ends.
Mover, please clarify that.
Speaker, when it comes to the support that is given by the County Bursary Committee or the Ward Bursary Committee, it is on the need basis. This time round you have a shortage of maybe 5,000. The money is availed to you because you are needy, and that's it. But when it comes to the Governor's Scholarship Committee, when a beneficiary has been picked, say for secondary education, they see to it that that child has completed the secondary education. If it is a university student, they sponsor that throughout until they are done. So there is a difference between awarding bursary and giving scholarship. Scholarship is full scholarship.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, if that is the clarity, I come back to the amendment that we were talking about. When we give scholarship to a student, probably at Form 1 level, and then we commit the government or the governor to pay for this scholarship until the fruition of that learning period, maybe Form 4 or whatever. Don't you think that it is very important that we monitor the progress of this particular student until that period that the scholarship has gone into its full circle? So when you say that we remove that aspect of evaluation and monitoring and the follow-up on the particular beneficiary of scholarship, and even in between, many things can happen. Even the student can die. And when he dies, we still pay money for a dead person. All the institutions, all the organizations that give scholarship must have an evaluation process on the progress of the beneficiary. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Langat, and then Honorable Kamau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was just thinking about the two words that our learned friend Kajwang has brought. Issues to do with bursaries and scholarships. Ideally, when we talk about scholarships, I don't know whether we'll be limiting the governor, because in my own understanding, a scholarship is usually given because of merit. Those who performs excellently, like that's why you see KCBs and all the others, they give scholarships. But bursaries, you know, is given on basics of financial need. This is a student who is needy. Even if he's not performing so well, we can still be able to give bursaries. But in my own understanding about a scholarship, so if we actually talk about governor's scholarship, when governor visits the normal mashinani and finds a very needy student, he may not be performing very well, but the family is down and has not been able to pay fees. This law, in my own view, may then be able to limit the governor, because it will now not be a scholarship. This is somebody who needs bursary to be assisted, to top up with the little that is actually having. So I don't know whether we can put a footnote for our own understanding, what we understand by a scholarship, because if we go to the English dictionary of what is a scholarship, what is internationally accepted, then I will be disqualifying the governor from giving out money while we're outside there. So, but for us, our own understanding, you know, even when you go there, even me in my own words, sometimes you tell people, I'm giving you full scholarship, and maybe by that I mean, I want to take you to a driving course you're able to do from A to Z. It's not really a scholarship, that's not a scholarship as such. It is just a bursary, but we are trying to give a very beautiful name in the name of a scholarship. So I don't know, maybe you can have a look at that, because this will be a law, so that we may not be able to limit. When the likes of Akina Umusundi and the rest will now come and try and interpret, they may not be able to take the governor to court for having given out a scholarship to a bursary case. I don't know. This is English. We can be able to see and be able to understand.
Thank you, Dr. You know, scholarship is given on merit. And when you say merit, there are components of merit. There is need basis, and there is that aspect of performance. So one cannot outweigh the other one. It has to go, you are either you're needy, and there is another aspect of excellence and all that. So we cannot deny the needy aspect because they are not excellent. So I think the scholarship, I have been to scholarship committees, and those were the elements that we were using, needy and...
Mr. Chair,
the Honorable Langat is still on.
Chair, allow me to go to the dictionary so that you can be able to look what is universal. So when I go to my dictionary, when you talk about scholarships, scholarships are non-repayable awards given to recognize the high level of excellence a student has achieved in his or her studies. Bursaries are non-repayable awards allocated on the basis of financial needs and without undue emphasis on the academic standing. I don't know, it's for you to charge. You are the chair. Thank you.
Honorable Dr. Alex.
Mr. Chair, when you talk about scholarships, we may define it as my colleague has stated it, but merit is one. We also have need-based. We also have field-specific, because governor can state that a certain student has been playing football so well, and Kamusinga High School within Western takes these people, so governor might try to do that. We have fully funded, and we also have specific funding. So scholarship, I think we can entertain it that way, because, and let it be unanswered, that any need, any merit, any field specific can be taken, also fully funded can be taken. Because if we then go against that, I think we have to change the entire word on scholarship, and then we maybe concentrate on academics only. And when you look at the kind of education system that is coming to Kenya, I think we are now changing even from academics to the skills that these people have. So I think that one, just as stated, I think should be retained just as it is.
I'll just give a wrapping. And Alex has now brought up so many aspects into this. I'll just concentrate on the amendment. The reason why we were talking of amendment on scholarship is that this award, when it's given to a particular student, and it was given on the basis of a specific reason, when that reason ceases to be, then it can be withdrawn. If it was given on the basis that the parents were poor and the parents suddenly get rich, then why should we continue sponsoring them? Or if it was given on the basis that the child is so disciplined and now we need to sponsor them, and then all of a sudden he becomes a rogue, that need to be withdrawn. So evaluation and is very important so that reports are brought back to look on the progress of that particular beneficiary. If we think that this beneficiary is not conforming to the norms and for the reasons that he was awarded this kind of scholarship, then that thing can be withdrawn back. Thank you.
So the proposal is we retain clause D to be part of the bill. But there is another component of A, which reads that we propose to amend by deleting the words vet and determine in section 22A of the bill and substituting with receive scholarship applications from the ward committees. And we need to discuss this further because this bill proposes to have 3 tiers of scholarship, whereby we have ward committees, we have county committees, and we have governance scholarship committee, which is independent from the ward committees. So if you say that they will be receiving from the ward committees, let us now debate on that line.
Chair, that is a discussion that we discussed further and to details. And for purposes of fairness and equal distribution of resources, which is a key principle that guides the members of any other society, we agreed, and in any case, Chair, there is no role, this law does not gag the governor from receiving directly the scholarship applications. But, Chair, allow me to tell you, Chair, there is something that has been raised by one of the members, the mover, who was the chair, and he said, much of the time, students come to governor because they have gone to the awards and requested them to be awarded the scholarship or to be supported. How about those wards that this year the governor have not visited? How are they going to receive such kind of applications? We said, let them also receive, because some of them might miss directly to go to the governor, but they can go direct to that ward committee, which is still, actually they are looking at the welfare of the students, and perhaps propose also to be awarded. Therefore, Chair, we said, because members said, even those funds that the governor consumes are appropriated by this committee, how are this committee going to have a hand? Or rather, how are these members going to ensure that even the members from their committee, from their wards, have also received something? And we said, these committees that we also have there, and they have legal mandate to look at the issues, critical issues of the students, can also see, anyway, in the world, for instance, we are awarding 4,000 to students, and we cannot exit there because of the burden. Why don't we also give these to the scholarship committee that is at the headquarters? And therefore, that's what actually meditated, or rather made us actually to think in that line of giving that committee at the ward level to also be receiving such kind of requests and proposing such kind of requests and suggesting to the scholarship committee that we have at the headquarters, and we felt it was critical and it was a good thing for that committee also to have that purview of looking at such critical issues. However, Chair, if we say, let us remain damp and say, it's only the scholarship committee that can receive at the headquarters here. And Chair, remember, today, we are dealing with the issue that we are saying, this side have been favored, that side have been favored. If we go to that route and we continue actually smearing the butter onto such kind of avenues, we are going to break the county. And that's why we say, let us at least have a way that we can be able to give this at local level, some such a kind of a committee that can be giving some suggestion. And that's what actually at that public participation, that's what we discussed, and we said that's the lifeline that we are giving each and every ward. At least, if they are not going to have 3, at least 1 that have passed through that ward committee.
I want to give it now to Honorable Alex, bearing in mind that the money is domiciled with the governor's office.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We all must appreciate that. And I must applaud our governor for even coming up with such a fund. You see, many governors have shied away from developing such a fund. So first and foremost is to applaud that it has been happening even without the bill. But Mr. Chair, you're talking about 30 million Kenyan shillings. And when you're talking about 30 million, how much are we talking about? That's a big question. When you talk about 30 million, just as the chairperson education had quoted, if I got him right, we indicating very well that in each and every ward, we shall be having around 545,000 Kenyan shillings, Mr. Chair. So you cannot, again, keep quiet when we don't know how the names will be arrived at. Mr. Chair, if you were to give 6 students per ward, from Bahati, from my ward, Maera, each and every corner, we are talking about 6 students per ward to have scholarship with the governor. We are talking about 90,000 Kenyan shillings. So whenever money is mentioned, members of this house cannot keep quiet when it comes to issues that we are discussing here, because after we pass what we pass here, then the case shall be closed. So, Mr. Chair, we go back to what we had asked. How will the names be arrived at? Because if not the committee, if not from the ward committees that, or if not from your office, someone moving around with around 30 million Kenyan shillings can actually take that money to a single ward. Our current governor is very good. She hasn't done that, Mr. Chair. But what of the time that we shall be in such a situation? So, Mr. Chair, our request was the governor will move around. But what of the wards that the governor will not have moved around to those wards? What about Kiptororo, very, very far, I think, at the border of Kericho and Bomet there? When will that student ever benefit there? Because we are developing a scholarship for the county.
Do you want to say that governor doesn't visit Kiptororo?
No, you didn't get me very well, Mr. Chair. Previously, I can quote of some people, some governors that have gone through this county, Mr. Chair, that only visited Lakeview Ward once. And yet we have county headquarters at the Naivasha sub-county. They're hosted in Lakeview. So if in my own ward, another governor didn't visit that ward for a whole 5 years, Mr. Chair. Today we have the laxity that Her Excellency Susan Keheka moves from one ward to the other. And she has made that in particular with the bursaries, Mr. Chair. What about a time when another priority of another governor will not be moving towards Mr. Chair? Because we are not making these rules for Her Excellency Susan Keheka. She's doing it well. But what of the time that will come? The COB today is making us make these rules, Mr. Chair, because we are not making these rules to favor ourselves. It is at a request by the COB, direction from the COB in Nairobi, that we must do this and this and this and this, because procedure must be followed. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. For the interest of time now,
Chair,
I want to direct that we are not going to open.
Okay, I'm closing up, Chair. You see,
senior, I just give you because you are a senior member of this honorable house.
Thank you. But also my colleague here, when he stood up and brought up the definition of bursary and scholarship. That has to be appendixed in this bill. It has to be very clear. In fact, if it's not there, it has to be put. Okay? Secondly, for me, I don't see the idea of saying that every ward must receive a portion of this equally if it is a scholarship. Maybe I come from a ward where nobody wants anyway. So why would you allocate me if I don't want? But you saw what happened with the County Enterprise Fund. When it was distributed, we realized that only people from Mauche, they got everything. You see, what about people from other places who did not have the, yes. So for me, this thing must be managed in such a manner that you also give the governor the leeway, because scholarship is scholarship. Scholarship depends with the mood of the governor or the person who is giving it also. As you can see, Alex is really praising the governor that she's the best, she's doing all this, you see. But for his information, the governor is probably not even the executor. The executor could be some other junior officers there in the middle.
Which he takes responsibility.
Yeah. No, I'm still
for the interest
standing.
of...
Why are you standing again?
Honorable Alex, I'll give you time.
Let me finish.
That's why you are here. Today is a gazetted day for this bill only.
So for me, the committee must come up with regulations on how the scholarship part of this money is going to be managed. And I think the committee, the committee, through the chair, did a dismal job. If they came up with this thing and they never gave specific guidelines on how the scholarship part is going to be managed. They've actually given the governor an open check. You see, I think that's a very poor work that they've given us.
Please, just be fair to the committee, because you understand a bill is, there is a regulation that is going to come after the bill. So just be fair to the committee. They've done their part.
With that, I submit, Chair.
Thank you so much. So I'll give it to the mover so that we can do with the section 20, Article 28.
Mr. Chair, let me clarify that we asked members to show up for the public participation, and Mheshimiwa Kajwang did not spare any time to come. He was busy having some tea around town, but we do not blame him. He's a good man. So, Mr. Speaker, you have really opened my eyes, because I do not see the need for the Ward Bursary Committee to do the work that is supposed to be done by the Governor's Scholarship Committee. Because once we introduce the idea that these things should be done at the ward level, so that the Governor's Scholarship Committee only receives, I think we'll be doing injustice. And because we are wise people, and we want to avoid conflict, even with the office of the Governor. And actually, it is the Governor who will assent to the bill so that it can be taken to the COB. And we do not want to cause delays. Why don't we just let her or that office have their way? I'm just saying, I'm raising...
Chairman, you know, we are now proposing.
Yes.
Now, I may entertain you proposing to delete or to, so that I can put it to question.
That's okay.
Because it is your word.
Yes.
And against others. So just propose
Speaker, yes,
what you want us to amend or to retain, so that I am going to put it to question.
Okay. Before I propose, Mr. Speaker, or the chair, it is also important that I clarify here that an MCA is also able to give a scholarship at the ward level. What they're supposed to do is only to recommend to the Ward Bursary Committee, and then it is minuted. So let us not all target the 30 million in the Governor's kitty, because we have enhanced monies. Someone like Elbagon has as high as 9 million. If he wants to sponsor even 10 children, he's able to do that, because he will only recommend to the ward bursary committee, and it is minuted, and they're able to award even as high as 90,000 for those students who are attending national schools. So I do not see the bone of contention. Let us be sober. Let us be fair. So my proposal, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to amending, let us retain, vet and determine.
So you are proposing we retain 22A as it is. So I want to propose to members, as it has been proposed by the chair, that clause 22 Honorable Njuguna.
You know, Chair, I'm mesmerized that the chair have been opened, his eyes have opened now, which is actually, and he's a mover of the amendments, Chair. It's quite unfortunate, Chair, because when we started the public participation, the reason as to why we call it public participation is to get other views to enrich this bill. And Chair, remember, when the members have alluded to one of the funds, whereby the funds went only to a single ward in a sub-county. And because we have seen such kind of issues, Chair, we said, let us critically come up with a fair way of looking at this matter. Today, it's Her Excellency Governor Susan Kihika who is on the seat. Tomorrow, we do not know what governor can come. The reason as to why we say it so is so that we can cure the issues of discrimination and any other anomalies that can come, because when we sat here, we've been bereaved that we have the wisdom to move on and to come up with the regulations and rules that can actually steer ahead this county. So therefore, Chair, by saying that we delete whatever clause that we had suggested from the ward level, it will be actually be stabbing ourselves and saying that whatever you are doing during the public participation, we are trivializing ourselves. Therefore, Chair, I would suggest, because if you look at clause C, also give the committee some leeway to determine awards to eligible applicants. They still have some power of the same nature that has been given by section 22, part A. Therefore, Chair, all that we said, because that one can still, and it still has hold water, let us introduce that clause that we had said. Because I'm looking at the future of this county, and I'm looking at the current politics that we are in, whereby people are saying, this is tribal, this is looking at that tribe only. Those are the kind of the things that we are trying to cure, so that everybody can feel being carried and accommodated when those committee receives such kind of things. And number two, Chair, I happen to have sat like 3 consecutive years into the bursary committee in my ward. And the kind of the issue that we've been seeing is only miracles that can cure. And I'm happy because the governor have come up with a miracle to cure that kind of issues that we've been grappling with at the ward level. And that's why we are saying, when those ward level committee receives some kind of huge, the burden with those students, the bright student and very needy, that need actually to be supported, that's why we say, let that committee also have some leeway of suggesting these names of individuals in their wards that have that kind of burden that requires or qualifies to be given the scholarship. And somebody said, those people who are interior, there's nobody who can identify them. Unless they want to tell us that they want to give the whatever called the governors imaginary people powers to be doing such kind of powers that can be done at the ward level by a genuine committee that have been legally been established. Chair, allow me to request the chair to retain it as the way it was, but that D to be deleted, actually to be retained as the way it was. The only D to be retained, but A to be moved the way members had suggested during the public participation.
And that is now, I want members to propose that clause 22A be amended by deleting the words vet and determine in section 22A of the bill and substituting with receive scholarship application from the ward committee. Honorable members, I want to put the question that section 22A be amended by deleting the words vet and determine in section 22A of the bill and substituting with receive scholarship application from the word committee. As many of the same opinion say aye. As many of the contrary say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want to propose that clause 22D be amended by deleting section 22D in entirety. Honorable members, I want to put question that question section 22D. Section 22D be amended as proposed by deleting its entirety. As many of the same opinion say aye. But that's what you've been, okay, let me read to you. The one that you've been discussing about monitoring academic progress of beneficiaries. That is the D part. If you say yes, we maintain, we delete. If you say no.
Mr. Speaker.
So members, now that you know, section 22D reads this way: monitor, the functions of the committee shall be to monitor academic progress of beneficiaries. So the proposal of that was to delete that part so that we can, as you've discussed. So I want to put it to question.
Chair. Chair, no, not before you put the question. You see, we defined scholarship on Hansard, and we say that it's not just the academic part. And now here, on that section, you are stating it very well. That's only, we are just rotating around academia. And after we have put it to question, you will tell me, Mr. Chair, that I was not concentrating.
No.
Yeah, but we have other merits. On scholarship, we stated other merits. We said need-based.
For example, you gave an example, a very good example, that a scholarship had been given to a student who is performing in fields. Maybe he's tomorrow, and God forbid that student doesn't participate due to injuries and all that. Will that be discontinued?
Yeah.
So the academic part.
Yes,
so
Chair, I think Chairman is right. But you need to also propose an amendment.
Which is, we are here to amend.
Yeah.
Chairman Alex, what is your amendment?
My amendment should be that we include not just the academia part, but the purpose of that scholarship, the intended purpose of that scholarship. As long as it's not there, then it will be withdrawn. If someone was hailed from Keringet and is an athlete, can be sponsored anywhere. I think Chairman Education
So it should read, to monitor academic progress, academic stroke achievement progress of beneficiaries. Can we insert the word achievements? So I want to put it in question that section 22D as proposed to be deleted I want honorable members, and I put question that clause 22D.
Mr. Chair, sorry, Chair.
Yes, mover.
I'm asking with all due respect.
Yes, mover.
Whether it is possible for us to caucus.
Yes.
On section 22A. We've done a lot of work.
Yes.
And there's no need equal null and void. So I would want us to caucus, even if it is 3 minutes. We caucus of the record.
Because
Chair.
you are the mover,
Chair.
and we are still sitting,
Yes,
I'll
Chair.
give you the benefit
Chair.
of that.
Chair, just before we go to that level, Chair, we said there is procedures of moving bills in this house. And we just voted about that clause. Chair, you cannot take us back you'll be actually be contradicting the standing orders, Chair. And Chair will not be part of that. We have just moved, we have passed, and we have agreed unanimously, because the ayes had it, Chair. You now move and circumvent so that it can suit a certain individual, Chair. Well, you have already discussed that, Chair. Chair, for the record, we have actually, that is a common knowledge. And Chair, you cannot actually be asking common knowledge questions. Do you know, Chair, when the question has been put cannot be evoked again? And I can give you, and I will give you the standing orders. It is here, and the cracks, and the table cracks.
Okay,
should
members,
not be, should guide you, Chair.
okay, members, for the benefit of this, I'm being guided by Standing Order 128. 128.6, which says, no amendment shall be moved which is consistent with any part of the bill already agreed to, or any decision already made by the committee, and by the chairperson may at any time during the debate of a proposed amendment withdraw it from the consideration of the committee if, in the opinion of the chairperson, the debate has shown that the amendment contravenes these paragraphs. That is our standing order, 128, part 6. The powers have been given to the chairperson. I can withdraw or retain. So I am being guided by the standing order.
Chair, I think what the mover is stating, I agree with him partly, but in my own agreement with him, we must also reconsider 9, Mr. Chair, because if the ayes had it this way on 22, and had been told when I argued on 9, I was told that the time had gone. Now time has also gone for chair, so we must agree on the 2 clauses, 9 and the 22, because the Article 9, you stated very well that it was stating, Honorable Chair, I need your attention. On 9, I had argued here, Mr. Chair, that the county committee based at the headquarters should not interfere with what comes from the ward level. They should not come and vet here again at the county level. Now, on the 22, we are agreeing. If we have 3 tiers of bursaries, we have the ward level bursary and we have the county, the governor's scholarship. The governor's scholarship should be vetted, Mr. Chair. But in this case, we've said there are no vetting there. I think that's what we've indicated. So on the 9 and this one, I think then we can caucus as members here and then indicate what we want. But as long as you are telling us to caucus on 22 alone, I think I'll side with Njogona. We move on as we had agreed.
Mover. Use the mic.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
I am requesting that you grant us only 3 minutes to caucus, and any other arising matter can also be discussed within those 3 minutes, Mr. Speaker, if you allow. Because we are still actually debating and discussing the same article, section 22. So we are not outside it.
What is the point of order?
Chair, I'm happy because you have invoked that order, but I will also want you look at part 6. And Chair, let us not joke with the procedures. Unless we want to tell us that we are just here as a kangaroo house. And Chair, I'm in record in this house saying, when baboons comes together, that is called parliament. Unless, Chair, you want us to take the definition of this house to actually a congress of baboons, which is called parliament, Chair. Chair, that order, part 6, no amendment shall be moved, which is inconsistent with any part of the bill already agreed already agreed or any decision already made by the committee. The committee had already made that decision, that be part of the bill. Chair, why do you want us to take us back to already something that we have already discussed? That is trivializing this house. It's taking our time and actually saying that we be seated here,
Honorable
not doing
Njuguna,
what we are doing.
Honorable Njuguna.
Yes.
Please be fair to members. Read that article into the standing order completely. Don't read where it favors you.
Yeah, I was not through, Chair, before you interrupted me. And I want to take you systematically, Chair, clause by clause, 128, part 6. No amendment shall be moved which is inconsistent with any part of the bill already agreed or any decision already made by the committee. That is part 1. And the chairperson, at any time during the debate of proposed amendment, any time before we moved that decision, before we made that decision, the chairperson have the leeway to withdraw and say, no, I don't want that amendment. And he moves. And he did move. And that's why he said nay. So taking us back, Chair, you'll be actually be moving us into circle and telling us that this house has no order. This is a house of order and rules. And that's why we are making these rules, Chair. And it proceeds by saying, Chair, that, and the chairperson may at any time during the debate of proposed amendments, which you already passed, we passed that amendment, and we withdraw it from the consideration of committee if it in the opinion of the chairperson, the evidence has shown that the amendment contravenes this paragraph. There is no way to contravenes. We passed that. We are now in part D. If, Chair, we are going to caucus, let us caucus on part D, not part A, because we are through with the part A. Unless, Chair, you are telling us that you want to move us in circles and take us back into a house that has no order, Chair, because you be in for a rude shock, Chair, because this thing can be taken to court. Therefore, Chair, once we pass through the procedure, don't take us back, Chair. And I'm saying so, not in consideration of the respect to Chair, but I know the procedures, and we are going to stand by the procedures, Chair. Even if we take us back there, we are going to amend it the way it is.
Chair, the chairperson that is being referred to in this standing order is not the chair of the committee.
Yes.
He's the chair of the whole house, the committee of the whole. Committee of the whole. So it's referring to you, not PM.
Chair.
Please wait for the chair to digest.
The chair is a
because these are low. Who is that calling chair the slow learner?
No, and no emotions, Chair. Let us also be abstract in this matter.
Yes. We are still in 22. You know, after I have put it, I must put now the entire clause, the 22. So I'm being guided by the standing order. So the whole clause, you know, you have to read it, the 22. In section, so that you can now amend the whole clause 22. We had dispensed with A, we were now at D. That's when the chairman, education, came up and say, we are within the 22, Honorable Njuguna. After I have done it, I'll put now the question as 22, as amended. So, and the chair here has put a very passionate appeal to the chair for 3 minutes for him to caucus. So I don't see if I'll be fair enough if I deny him that chance to caucus?
But Chair, this is not about being fair. This is about following the rules.
And that is where I'm saying...
when you say he's passionate, how do you even measure his passionometer? What we are saying here, let us follow the rule to the letter. We can only do caucus going forward, not going backwards. Yes. So his passionometer, that one is his own problem.
Please speak through the chair. We are not going to, you know, this is a progressive thing. We are not going back. This is 22D, and Chair, you've asked for caucus. I'm giving you 2 minutes for doing that, and then you report that.